Hello everyone, and welcome to the My Greek Island podcast, Bitesize Greek series edition with your teachers, George Tsounyas
and Maria Petraku. Although, George, are we teachers now?
Well, technically, I actually am a qualified teacher, and you are going to be the teacher's assistant. So, in some shape or form, we are both teachers now.
Okay, I'll accept the label of teacher instead of co-host. But yeah, okay. Well, now, my Greek Islanders, we absolutely loved receiving your feedback and requests for the next Greek learning episode. So clearly, many of you have used some of the phrases we taught you in our pilot episode. So, what did we think, George?
We basically thought, why not create more work for ourselves and do a mini-series dedicated to bite-sized Greek to help you, the My Greek Island Wanderlust, impress the locals on your next trip.
So how will this work?
Well, these short bite-sized learning episodes are designed to allow you to listen, learn, and use the Greek you learn in each episode. So we will try and keep them to around 15 minutes or less. And even better, you can download them on your platform of choice and have a quick listen before you need to use them. Now remember, some of what you will hear will be similar and familiar from the previous episode, but we are coming to you with a new series this time, so we need some sort of structure. Ain't that right, Maria?
Indeed. And also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at My Greek Island, where we will be posting episode recaps so you can actually save the posts and have them in your back pocket. Clever?
Yes. So, without further ado, πάμε!
Let's go, George, or should I say, πάμε, Yorgo. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the My Greek Island podcast, dedicated to take you, the Wanderlust, on a journey through Greece.
There are 227 inhabited Greek islands. Which one will you visit next?
My Greek Island, with your hosts George and Maria.
Right. So, learning a new language can be very, very daunting, take courage and lots of time. It can also be very demotivating when you don't seem to make any progress. This series is all about providing you with the instant language to use, get a reaction, and hopefully learn a thing or two that will stick. And who knows, you might even be inspired to start learning Greek properly. But let's face it, when you go on holiday, you just need a few words, phrases, and also some slang, and you are happy to go.
That's very true. And one thing I think that you should all note with the Greek language, as with also many other languages, probably other than English, there is an informal and a formal version of addressing people. So throughout this episode and future episodes, we will make you sure to know which is which.
Exactly. And to be honest, if you only remember the informal, it isn't the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world.
Greeks all over the world will just love that you're just trying to speak their language.
That's very true.
So first up, we have saying hello. So those of you listening on the first episode, you might remember some, but here is a bit of a recap. So we're always going to be doing things in threes and saying things 3 times. So hello, we've got ya, which is informal, yasas, formal, and even more formal, χαίρετε. So Maria, repeat back.
So ya, γεια σας, and χαίρετε.
Exactly. So ya, γεια σας, and χαίρετε.
Cool. And of course, with every hello, you might also want to address people according to the time of day, right, George?
Exactly. And most of you should know this, I hope. So we have kalimera, kalispera, and kalinichta.
So that would be kalimera for good morning, kalispera for good evening, and kalinichta for good night.
Exactly. And one more time. Kalimera, kalispera, and kalinichta. And you might want to pause as we go along so you can practice for yourself, as we always say things 3 times. Just check where you are when you do so.
That's very true because to be honest, most places you always bump into a Greek. So don't be surprised if you're saying Kalimera and get a Kalimera back.
Exactly. Now, let's say we've said the hello or good morning and we want to say how are you. We're going to give you a few versions of this. So the most common version that you will hear is, or you might have heard of, is tikanis, which is informal, or tikanete, which is formal. Over to you, Maria.
Okay, so that's τι κάνεις and τι κάνετε.
Excellent. So, tikanis or tikanete. Or, we did say we'll give you some slang. If you want to sound like a local, you could say τι γίνεται or τι λέει.
So that's τι γίνεται and τι λέει.
So we have τι γίνεται or τι λέει. Now both of these are slang, and they would be, if you said it to a local, they'd probably be quite surprised, wouldn't they? From a foreign speaker.
They would, and I think that τι γίνεται is used much more than delay. I think delay is usually amongst friends, whereas τι γίνεται you might hear it more often amongst people that are not that familiar but are using the informal version of the language.
Perfect.
So try τι γίνεται and see what happens.
Yeah, try τι γίνεται and see what reaction you get. So, just to recap the above, we had γεια, γεια σας, and χαίρετε. And then according to the time of day, what would we say?
We had καλημέρα, καλησπέρα, and καληνύχτα.
Excellent. And then saying how are you, we had τι κάνεις or τι κάνετε. And then finally, if you want to give a bit of slang or sound like a local, you could say
τι γίνεται or τι λέει.
Perfect. Have you got that, Maria?
Absolutely. 100%. So, got it. And let's say, how would my Greek Islanders respond to all of that, George?
Exactly. So, you need to, if you're asking the question, you have to provide the answer. And as with a previous episode, chances are you're going to be using this when you're either in Greek company. So you might not be in Greece, you might have some Greek friends you want to impress. But if you're in Greece or even Cyprus, everything should be fine and fantastic. Wow. So we're only going to give you ways to say good, very good, and everything's good. So if the question was τι κάνεις or τι κάνετε or τι γίνεται or τι λέει, you could say καλά, which means good, or you could say πολύ καλά, which means really good. So over to you, Maria.
So that would be καλά or πολύ καλά.
Exactly. So we have καλά or πολύ καλά, or an extra one you could use is όλα καλά.
Όλα καλά.
Όλα καλά. So do you know what I'm going to say, Maria, about όλα καλά?
I have no idea.
Well, as well as it being a really, really famous Greek song, όλα καλά, the O and the K, it comes, if you say okay, one of the roots of this word, well, it could be, there's many roots, it's disputed, but if anyone's seen My Big Fat Greek Wedding, where everything goes back to Greek, so an alternative etymology of the word όλα καλά is, no, an etymology from the word okay is a borrowing from the Greek phrase όλα καλά. Okay. Did you know that?
I think I've heard it before, but I don't think I've registered it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't quote me on it, but it is widely found on the internet. It's disputed with other things, but we'll take it as being part Greek in some way, shape, or form.
Amazing.
So, I think we're going to recap into some sort of role play so people can hear it all out loud. What do you think?
Yeah, but I mean, before we do that, should we add in saying your name too and saying, pleased to meet you?
Yeah, okay. Well, I was actually going to wait till the next episode, but actually, yeah, let's do that. So what we would like you to do, we want you to, as we role play it out, we want you to listen to everything we've covered, but also we will be doing it all in the informal, keeping it simple, and see if you can listen out to how you say, what is your name, how to say your name, and then also, pleased to meet you. So we will do this twice. So the first time, listen to us. The second time, try and hear how we say, what is your name, how to say our names, and pleased to meet you. So without further ado, are you ready, Maria?
I am, but I'm just going to also ask our listeners to watch out to the pronunciation of our names in Greek. So you're George and I'm Maria. So try and watch out for how we're going to pronounce our names in Greek.
Exactly. Right, let's get into it. Γεια σου.
Καλημέρα.
Καλημέρα. Τι κάνεις?
Όλα καλά. Τι κάνεις?
Πολύ καλά.
Πώς σε λένε?
Με λένε Γιώργο. Πώς σε λένε?
Με λένε Μαρία.
Χάρηκα.
Κι εγώ χάρηκα.
Καληνύχτα, Μαρία.
Τα λέμε.
Okay, so that was your first round. We're going to listen to it one more time, see if you can go along with us. Are you ready, Maria?
Ready.
Ready, let's go. So, γεια σου.
Καλημέρα.
Τι κάνεις?
Όλα καλά. Τι κάνεις?
Πολύ καλά.
Πώς σε λένε?
Με λένε Γιώργο. Πώς σε λένε?
Με λένε Μαρία.
Χάρηκα.
Κι εγώ χάρηκα.
Καληνύχτα, Maria.
Τα λέμε.
So, did you hear about asking someone's name and sharing of your own? So we had πώς σε λένε, what is your name?
Πώς σε λένε?
Πώς σε λένε? And then to say my name is, we have με λένε,
Με λένε.
με λένε Γιώργο or
Με λένε Μαρία.
perfect. And the third thing to say pleased to meet you, we had χάρηκα,
Χάρηκα.
χάρηκα. So my Greek Islanders, stay tuned as Bitesize Greek episode 2 will be building upon introductions so you can say your name as we've learned but in different ways, your age maybe, nationality, and maybe another thing or two that will be unexpected to the listeners. So how was the first lesson for you, Maria?
I think it was great. I'm also going to challenge our listeners and say, please send us your names, and if there is an equivalent Greek version of it, we'll let you know what that is.
Oh yeah, that's amazing. I didn't think about that. Really good idea. And you were a great teacher's assistant. So this partnership is going to work and evolve even more so than the podcast. Until the next episode, make sure to follow us at My Greek Island on Instagram and to send us your bite-sized Greek learning requests.
Amazing. So until then, what do we say?
Γεια σας.
Γεια σας.
Right, my Greek Islanders, this comes to the end of another episode of this podcast.
Now you know the drill. If you like this episode, share it to share the love with the My Greek Island community, where everyone is welcome. And
don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, and all that jazz. And maybe give us a little rating from wherever you're listening to us from, so you are notified every time a new episode drops. And if you have any suggestions or requests, get in touch.
And for those of you visiting Greece, don't forget to tag at My Greek Island on Instagram for a future feature. Until then, see you later, or as they say in Greek,
Ta leme.